Hey everybody, how you doing? This is your girl, Dr. Avis, and it is time for a very special Magnify You. I normally do these trainings in my private Facebook group, which you can find right now on Facebook, obviously. But I am going to do this particular one on a broader scale because I want to address an issue that I see commonly with a lot of folks as I'm just beginning to work with them when they're looking to either start or scale their business. And I really think it's important that I talk about this because this is one thing that if we kind of get this, I think that you, no matter what stage you are in your entrepreneurial journey, it will be hugely beneficial for you. So if you are just popping in, say hi to me in the chat. I'm going to say hi to you. How are you? And I am excited to get this quick. I'm going to be in and out. Little training on and popping. Hey there, everybody. How you doing? So let me get moving forward with what I want to talk about tonight. So I want to talk about this concept of the power of one. Okay, the power of one, just one. And I talk about this from the standpoint of, hey there, how you doing? Unfortunately, Facebook won't let me see who. I'm sorry, not Facebook. It's not their fault. This is one thing where it's not Facebook's fault. StreamYard won't let me see who you are, but hi to you too. Okay. Hey, let me put on this so I can read names. Hey, Shanice, how you doing? So I want to talk about this issue of the power of one. Okay. Now I want to talk about this because honestly, as entrepreneurs, we're creatives. I mean, I think of entrepreneurs as creatives. Yes. Oh, hey, Bessie, how you doing, girl? That's my Aussie friend, you guys. How are things down under? So let me just say, as entrepreneurs, right, we are creatives. Like we have a million ideas. We have a million things that we want to do. We might even have a million things that we're doing now. Some people call this multi-passionate, right? Probably heard of people using that phrase before. And I am guilty as sin. You know, I'm a multi-passionate person too. Have never been the type that has been very streamlined in terms of only being interested in one thing, right? Which is probably why I didn't stay in academia, which is the traditional path with someone with my educational background, is because the way to sort of get tenure and be successful in those spaces is you have to basically focus your entire career on focusing one thing going a mile deep. No, that was never my interest. I've always had a whole bunch of interests throughout my life and academic journey. But what I have found, you all, as an entrepreneur, that bending too much, okay, bending too much to our creative urges actually can sometimes work against us as an entrepreneur. So let me give you a few examples about why I say that. Now, how many here believes that you're great at multitasking? Let me see. Any multitasking gurus in the house? Okay. Now, I think a lot of us like to think that we're great at multitasking. We like to tell ourselves that, but the science of the you're a bender. Are you like a time bender, Sheila? Honestly, I tell you, I think a lot of us like to convince ourselves that we're great at multitasking. But the reality is, science tells us that we're not. And I did a little research on multitasking before I came on here tonight because I wanted to share with you really what the science is about multitasking. Okay. The studies on this show that multitasking actually slows you down. Okay. You think you're getting more done because you're doing more things at the same time. Actually, overall, you're slowed down. Okay. Because you're not making great progress on any of them. You may be trying to do a little, something in a lot of different spaces, but you're not making huge impacts in any of them. It slows you down. What's up, Arnetta? How you doing, girl? Next, multitasking, it decreases your decision-making ability. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, my man. It decreases your decision-making ability. Think about that, how important that is, particularly those of us who are executives or, entrepreneurs, CEOs of your company. So much about the success of your businesses rely on your decision-making capacity and how sharp you are in those moments. Because a bad decision literally can cost us lots of moolah, right? Lots of time, right? All of those things. It's really, really potentially dangerous. How you doing, Jody? Great to see you. All right. Also, multitasking leads to people making more mistakes. Now, just think about that. If you are thinking that you're doing a good thing by trying to do multiple things at one time, but you are making more mistakes, you're probably making more harm than good out of the situation. Even if you think you're moving forward on a lot of different things, you're making more mistakes than you would have had you tackled those things individually. And also, overall, multitasking leads to worse performance. Like, overall, your performance diminishes when you multitask. Okay. So I wanted to start tonight with sharing those base facts with you, because here is one thing I've noticed by working with entrepreneurs over several years, that I've helped them be able to start or scale their businesses very quickly and very powerfully. One of the very first things I do is I call it pruning, right? I call it editing. Okay. I call it's like taking things away. Okay. And let me be more specific. Because we are creatives, because we are multi-passionate, one of the most common mistakes that I see entrepreneurs make is that they are trying to, in essence, pursue multiple different business ideas all at once, particularly trying to start. That's probably the worst thing to do, especially when they are in the baby stages of all of them. Like, they're trying to start multiple businesses all at once. I do this and I do this and I do that and I do that. Let me just tell you right now, that is the kiss of death. Okay. It's the kiss of death. All right. Because when you are spreading yourself that thin, just think about what I just said about multitasking. When you're spreading yourself that thin, it's going to slow you down, right? Your decision-making abilities on any of those ventures that you're pursuing is going to be decreased, because you cannot focus on anything in the proper amount, right? Because guess what? You only have 24 hours in every day. I hate to break it to you, but you're human just like the rest of us, okay? You're going to make more mistakes, and your overall performance is going to go down, okay? Because in essence, you're multitasking the startup phase. And let me tell you, there is nothing more critical in the life of your business than the startup phase. The only thing that maybe is anywhere near as critical is the scaling stage. Like, after you've gotten it to a certain point and you've hit the wall, now you really got to focus to get up and out to that next level. To get from 6 figures to multi-six, from multi-six to seven, from seven to multi-seven. It's going to take what? Focus. It will take focus. And the thing that will be the first sort of casualty to your multitasking tendencies when it comes to your businesses or your business, the thing that's going to be the biggest casualty is your focus. There is only one of you. You cannot give each of those baby businesses or scaling businesses the time that it needs and the focus that it needs to really flourish when you are spreading yourself too thin. Think about this. What makes businesses extraordinary? Think about those businesses that are really breakouts, that have really done amazing things, right? It's because when those businesses were getting off the ground and at the scaling phases, there was someone there with a great deal of focus in that specific space to get it over the hump. All right. And that's what you need to do too. You need to do less, in essence, in terms of the multiple things that you think you're doing, but you're not doing any of them well, in order to do more of what's important for the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Think about it like this. Would you rather be an absolutely extraordinary badass in one thing, build your brand to extraordinary levels in one area, be known as the baddest chick in the game in one space, right? Or would you rather go down in history, and basically nobody remembers these people, so it's not even like you're going to go down in history, as being mediocre in a dozen things? Which would you rather? Be a complete and utter badass in one thing, or be mediocre in 12 things? I will tell you every damn day of the week, I will choose, and I hope you will choose, being a badass in one thing. Now, what does this mean? Because I told you right at the very beginning of our discussion here tonight that I am guilty of being multi-passionate like many of you. It doesn't mean that I let go of my other ideas. It doesn't mean that I let go of my dreams and desires and ambitions in a variety of areas. It just means that I understand that it cannot all happen at the same time. You have to prioritize. What will you focus on first? Scale that to a certain level before you even start on the next thing. Build a brand in one area before you even start on the next thing. Have revenue certainty and consistency in one area. Hear me on that. Hear me on that. Before you move on over to the next thing, okay? This, I'm telling you, will change the game if you hear me on this. Many of you have probably heard, results of some of my clients getting $25, $50, $100,000 plus in a week, a month, sometimes even bad and bold enough to do it in a day. Okay. It's because the very first thing that we do is get clear on the one thing that they're going to focus on. One thing, not a million things, not a dozen things, hell, not even 3 things. One thing. So if you hear nothing else from me tonight, I just want you to take that to heart. What is the most important thing that you need to focus on right now to get the biggest impact in your business at this moment? Or if you are interested in multiple businesses and multiple business ideas, which one of them is most near and dear to your heart? Which one of them is closest to your passions, your talents, that thing that you could do in your sleep? Okay. Which one of them will you focus on first? Pick the one thing. I've used this analogy often. So if you've heard me say this before, I apologize in advance. But one of the best sort of visual analogies that I can give you to sort of display to you the power of focusing on one thing is the concept of the element of water. And I got this from Bruce Lee. Okay. So I'm giving credit where credit is due. Okay. But when you think about water, right? Water can be one of those benign and also one of the most powerful elements on the planet. Can it not? I am telling you, right? So on the one hand, if you take a glass of water and you just pour it over a rock or a whole bucket of water, not even a glass, a whole bucket of water, you pour it over a rock, guess what? It'll disperse all around that rock. It'll eventually soak into the ground and evaporate away, right? Come by a few minutes later, there's no evidence that it was ever there. Yeah? But say you take that same amount of water and you streamline it, right? You put it in a contraption where it can be shot out of a very, very small hole. So it's concentrated at a very high velocity. And you aim that hose at that same rock. That water that just a few minutes ago would have just dispersed around the rock and evaporated. Now it can cut right through that bad boy. What is the difference? The difference is focus. The difference is intensity. What I want you to know is that your mind has the same ability, and your mind has the same vulnerability. It can either be focused and powerful, or it can be dispersed and weak, underperforming, lack of impact. You spend all day doing all sorts of things. At the end of the day, it don't look like you did nothing. That's probably what happened. But if you focus, you can move mountains. That right there is what I want you to know is critically important. If you are starting a business, if you are scaling a business, think about what you need to let go so you can bring more focus and more power to the one thing, the main thing that you need to have traction on in order to see the biggest results. Now, I want to tell you why I'm focusing on this. And I'm going to have to read Bessie's comments because I'm curious. She talks about she wants to be a badass. Girl, you are a badass. What are you talking about? You're already a badass. What do you want to do? Like the Super Saiyan level of badassery? Is that what you're going for? Oh my God. Absolutely, Bessie, though. In all seriousness, it is about playing the long game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So here is what I want you to take away ultimately. And I want to sort of give that context because many of you know that for several years, I focused like a laser on sharing my ability to teach individuals and particularly entrepreneurs how to leverage the power of media for their businesses, right? I was focused on that. I touched thousands of lives with that. My business grew tremendously, right? Generated millions of dollars in revenue with that one focus. One focus. Made an impact on hundreds of my clients' lives with that one focus, right? Now that makes me think about what's next, right? So what's next? Next is my desire to share with you more about how you can apply this particular philosophy in terms of focusing on one thing to your business. Now, I will say early on in my business, I did not get this. When I was an entrepreneurial newbie, I allowed myself to be distracted by a million ideas and a million things, right? And I was able to reach a certain level of success in my business. But I have to tell you, I hit a wall that I couldn't go past. And I spent years kind of stuck at the same level. Anybody been like that? Where you're like, I don't care what I'm doing. Every year, I'm ending up just about the same place, right? And it wasn't until I released a lot of what I was doing and focused on one thing was I able to scale past the 7-figure mark. The power of one. And so with that said, you all, I'm excited to let you know that this October, I am having a very special event in Washington, D.C. by the name of Black Millionaire Coach Live. And what's special about this particular event is that at the heart of it, the focus is one thing. What I learned from my experience is that you don't need a million offers to make $1 million. You just need one. One powerful, one extraordinary, one incredible $1 million offer that is strong, that makes an impact, that you can scale, that you can grow, that you can offer over and over and over again to make your way past any sort of revenue blocks that you have right now. Plus, it makes life so much simpler. Okay. Life is simpler when you're focused on one thing versus a gazillion things. I have to say, this is the type of information that I typically have only shared with my elite clients. Okay. They all get training on their one thing. Okay. And so some of the results that you guys have been hearing from my clients is because they keep the main thing. They pare down, they focus, they figure out what is the one thing that I'm going to focus on. How am I going to package it? How am I going to price it? How am I going to position it? How am I going to brand around it? How am I going to market it? The focus is all on one thing. And guess what happens when you focus on one thing? You get good at it. You are able to make a deeper impact with all of your attention and focus in that one direction than having it dispersed in a million different areas. You get known as the badass in that space when you focus on one thing. And so, what I am looking to do with this particular event is share that game changing, life changing, millions of dollars producing methodology, not just for me, but for my clients too, with you. Okay. I want you to take the opportunity to join me at Black Millionaire Coach Live. You can get your tickets right now. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about this event because I am so super excited about it. Okay. Now, I had to you probably heard me talk about this. You may have heard me talk about this a little bit earlier. Had a little health event with my mom. So I had to refocus my priorities, right? The one thing, right? At that moment, the most important thing was my mom, right? And so to make sure that I gave this event its greatest time and attention that it needed for it to be all that I envisioned that it could be, I pushed the date back a little bit, okay? So this will be October 14th through 16th. And redesigning and rethinking how I can make sure that you can get the most out of this experience, I've decided to make it an all VIP affair. Hello, I know it sounds a little bougie, but hey, maybe I am a little bougie. I ain't even go apologize for that, okay? But it is an all VIP affair. So let me sort of paint the picture of what that looks like for you. When you decide to make the decision to come in and work on your business, because this is not one of those conferences where it's, all sorts of stuff is happening and it's all fluff. This is about the work. This is about coming in, getting very clear on your $1 million offer, what it is, how to package it, how to price it, how to position it. Getting very clear on how to brand around it so that you can be well known for it. Getting clear on how you're going to build a marketing strategy around it so that you can attract top tier, high ticket clients to it. It is all focused on leaving there with that one focus that you can use to drive your business to that next level, to 6, to multi-6, and yes, even to 7 and beyond. Okay. That's exactly what we're doing. But let me tell you a little bit more about what you can experience at the Black Millionaire Coach Live event. Number one, this is going to be, as I mentioned, an all VIP affair. So everybody there, you're going to have access to beautiful sort of luxe swag that I am pulling together for you, in which I'm going to share some of my best, some of my favorite things, not Oprah's favorite things, Avis's favorite things, okay? For productivity, for relaxation, for just, business badassery, okay? I'm going to share a few of my favorite things with you, each and every one of you, as part of the Luxe box that you'll receive upon arrival at Black Millionaire Coach Live. You'll also get access to our exclusive all Black affair opening reception, meaning just come with your badass all Black after 5 attire, because the first evening we're going to switch flip the script, and we're going to have a very nice reception in our nice, Black after 5 attire. So, the brothers, y'all make sure you have your nice Black. You don't have to do tux. Okay. It's not black tie, but it's after 5. So a nice Black, outfit. Ladies, nice black dress or pantsuits. We're all just going to be all black. Okay. We're also going to have access to our Millionaire in the Making luncheons every day. So that means every day you're going to have a delicious luncheon prepared for you. And you're also going to have the opportunity to network with other millionaires, six and multi six figure entrepreneurs, or those who are aspiring to all of those spaces. So this is a great time for you to be able to maybe meet your next business partner, meet your next client, perhaps. This is a great time for networking while having some great and delicious food that you don't have to run out and try to figure out every day for lunch. All right. You're going to have the opportunity to have special hot seat time as well with me and my incredible team member, Ty Miles, around the evening of day 2 with a special evening session where I can give you some feedback, because that whole first day, pretty much, we're going to be focused on that one offer. Okay. Because we can't get anything else right. We can't really brand around it. We can't really market around it until we get the offer right. So we're going to have that. And then in the evening of day 2, you're going to have the ability to ask me questions about it. Okay. And so that way we can hone in on it. So you're going to have hot seat time as well as part of this experience. You're going to get all of that and more. Okay. All of that and more at Black Millionaire Coach Live. Now, let me tell you right now, we are having our early bird opportunity to get in where you can fit in. Okay. Because this is such a high content event. Like I said, this is not fluff. You can literally take what you will be learning at this event and use it to leverage your business to the 6, to the multi-6, and yes, even the 7-figure level. Okay. As I have with my one offer, you can do that with your one offer. And so just what we will be teaching has tremendous value. All right. But right now you can get in at the early bird pricing of just $997. Okay. $997 gets you in the door. And in fact, right now, because we have such a runway, we're not even, we're several months away. You can even split that up into 3 payments if you need to. All right. Just go to Black Millionaire Coach Live right now, secure your tickets, go ahead and click the button to go ahead and reserve your room. You can either reserve the room just for you, or you can reserve a double room and get a roommate, however you want to do. And by the way, in terms of the room, it's at the Ritz-Carlton, you guys, Pentagon City. Why? Because we bougie. I've already established that. Okay, we bougie. So it's at the Ritz. Why not? Woo, Myoshia said, ain't nothing wrong with a little bouginess. I hear you, girl. Myoshia said she's VIP already. She already got that on lock. Yes, ma'am. Oh my goodness, Myoshia, girl, talk about badassery. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sheila, I know Sheila's in the house. Sheila says she can't wait either. Sheila's one of my incredible clients already. Listen, you have got to get in the space to be. So if you have not secured your ticket, go ahead and secure your ticket. Now, I will say that we have I have some other announcements I'm going to have for you later, because I'll go ahead and tell it now. I'll spill the beans right now, but I will make the official announcement probably around this next week. Okay. To celebrate this event, Black Millionaire Coach Live, I am going to have an entire summer series that's meant to prepare you to be on the road to making your first 7 figures. And so every month between now and October, I will be holding a special training that's really meant to make sure that you are getting to a space where your business can be prepared to make that leap over into 7-figure dumb. Okay. You will want to be in the place to be. I'll release more information about that next week, but I just want you to know that I am having a special summer series just for that. So I know we all like to take vacations, as will I actually in a little bit myself, but I will say this. Take some time this summer to focus on you and your future, your dreams, your desires, that empire that you've always had in your heart that you wanted to make, and just devoting one night's training. This is not a whole masterclass or anything, just an hour or so training with me once a month to give you the information that you need to prepare your business to be in a position to scale to seven figures will put you in the best spot to be able to make the most out of blackmillionairecoachlive.com, blackmillionairecoachlive.com, or Black Millionaire Coach Live, the event when it happens in October. So I definitely want to encourage you to do that. Hey there, Oren. Great to see you, my man. So with that said, you guys, I am not going to keep you on here tonight, but I want you to remember my main thing. What was the main thing? Keep the main thing the main thing. Okay. Multitasking is a lie. All right. You can have more power and impact in your business when you focus on, first of all, one business instead of a gazillion. And secondly, particularly in this space, as a service-based entrepreneur in the coaching or consulting industries, I am telling you right now, when you pick one thing that you can really, really perfect, as close to perfection as, there's no such thing as perfection, but there's one thing that you can really focus on in your business, right? To make it as good and powerful as it can be. That one thing is the thing that can take your business into the stratosphere, rather than you trying to focus on selling a gazillion things. This particular conference right here is about you identifying that one thing that has the potential to take your business to seven figures and beyond. So once again, I'm excited to be able to announce this to you with the actual final dates here, October 14th through the 16th. I look forward to seeing you in just outside of beautiful Washington, D.C. at the Ritz-Carlton in Pentagon City. And until then, I'll check you out a little bit later, you guys. Y'all enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having this summer. And I'll see you also all throughout the summer with our special Road to Seven Figures summer series. See you soon, guys. Take care. Bye.